In this video, we'll be making this simple dress with a smocked waistline to under bust and a one-sided shoulder. Stay tuned, like, share, subscribe. Let's get into it. The first thing you want to do is to place 2 of your fabrics on fold. So you're having 4 pieces of fabric. You're having 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm marking down my shoulder measurement of 8, half of my shoulder being 8 inches, and then sleeve length of about 12 inches. So you mark whatever sleeve length you desire, and I'm marking the bicep measurement. Remember, this is a free dress, so it has allowance added already. And from this point, I'm measuring down to the middle, and what I have, I'm transferring down to this line. I'm marking it down too. And from that point, I'm coming in by half an inch, and I'm connecting from the shoulder down to that point. I missed adding my shoulder slope. After adding my shoulder slope, I'm going to extend down the bicep. So from after my shoulder slope down to where I have the 8 inches mark, I'd mark for my bicep. And I'm marking the bust circumference divided by 4. And I'm adding about 3 more inches. You can add as much as 5 inches, it's your choice. But this outfit will not have any zipper, so we have to make it as free as possible. The next thing you want to do is to add your shoulder to waist measurement. So normally the waist is 15, but I'll be using 17 because I'll be smocking down to the waist area. I went ahead to impute a quarter of her waist circumference, and I added 3 more inches. Now I'm connecting from the waist to the bust area or upper chest area. And now I'm coming down by about 8 inches. This would serve as my hip line. And marking down a quarter of her hip circumference, I added an allowance of about 7 inches. Others were 3 inches. For here, 7 inches, because from the waistline she wanted it full. Okay, so you can decide to do yours lesser than that. You could use around 3 inches, 4, 5. So what you see me doing here is connecting the points I marked. But the hip, the allowance I added for the hip seemed so far, so I went to the waist area and I came out by 1.5 inches, and then I blended it down to the hip line and up to the upper chest line or bust line. From the hip line, what you see me doing is free-handedly drawing a diagonal line down to this part of the outfit, or to the hem of the outfit. I went down to mark my neck width of 3 inches for both the back and the front. Now for the front neck depth, I'll be marking down 3 inches. Okay, and I'll go ahead to connect a curved line, and for my back neck depth I used 2 inches, still connecting to the 3 inches width. And from this point, from that angle I came out with a diagonal line, and I marked 1 inch, and that would help me make a curve that connects the sleeve to the body of the outfit. I did not add any seam allowance because I already added enough smocking allowance to get from there my seam allowance, so you shouldn't be worried about that. From the waistline upward, I marked the length for my smocking. So I wanted my smocking to go up by 4 inches, and at the 4 inches mark is exactly her under bust. So the smocking will stop exactly at her under bust. So that is what you see me marking. Notch your waistline and the other point where your smocking would stop. and then you remove one piece. That piece will serve as your back. Then you cut out the neckline for the front. Remember that the front is a bit deeper than the back piece. You want to get your elastic thread and wound it on your bobbin and then fix your bobbin case. And for the top thread will be a normal thread that is non-elastic. Now remember I made notches here, right? So now I'm going to sew a straight line from this notch to the notch on the other side of the outfit. So on both notches on each side, I'll sew a straight line meeting each of them. It is important that you note that you're sewing the top part of the fabric. So the normal thread would be seen on the top or on the right side of the fabric, okay, while the elastic thread will be seen at the under part. So I'm making a crease because I didn't draw a line that will connect one notch to the other. I simply made a crease that I would follow. Now following that crease will lead me to the other end of the fabric. Now smocking those two lines which I notched their beginning and end, they serve as a guideline for me to do my smocking. So I know I'm smocking just in between. So I'm going to do that to the back and front and show you. So I smoked about the distance between each smocking was about 0.5 inches and I made more than 8 lines. Okay, so you decide to do yours how you want. So now I'm simply going to place right side facing right side. Okay, here you're seeing the right side facing right side, and you want to join the shoulder of the outfit, the both sides of the shoulder of the outfit. Now when I was done, I wanted to make one side of the neckline be more open or be wider, so it would seem like an off shoulder but it wouldn't fall off the shoulder. I'm sure you've seen the picture. You see that the side of the shoulder is a bit open but not falling off the shoulder. Okay, so I measured out 4 inches and made a curve, and I just cut out the marking I made. That was how I was able to get the shoulder you see here. The next step is to measure what you have in your neck circumference and mark and cut a bias that fits that same circumference, and you want to join the bias to give you one whole piece of fabric. Okay, after joining, you simply want to place on the right side of your fabric and sew down just an edge, one of the little edges, folded edges. Just sew that area down round your neckline. When you're done sewing that, you want to turn and turn to the inside and sew at the edge, just as you see me doing. You can then go ahead to hem your sleeve in the way you desire. For me, I'm simply folding in and I'm going to sew along the edge. After hemming your sleeve, you want to join the sides of your back and front by half an inch just along the edges. Once that's done, you fold in the edges or the hem of your gown. Hoping you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share, ask questions in the comments if you've got any.